found, and I think we pretty much covered all bases. Although I told you the conspiracy theory of maybe the deep state is actually finally done with him and they're ready to move on. It's a way to stop Biden. It's a way to stop Trump from running again. And for anyone who would roll their eyes and say, there's no such thing as a deep state, and as soon as I hear that, I tune out. I have one of my absolute best friends who tells me that all the time. As soon as you start talking about the deep state, I just laugh and I'm done, John. I'm done. Well, I think the Twitter files pretty much proves that, you know?
And make some sense.
Are they trying to get rid of Joe Biden? You know, I was tracking his poll numbers and it's amazing. I don't know what happened to Rasmussen, but something in the last couple of years, I don't know if they changed their methodology or whatever, but Rasmussen has been tracking Joe Biden. It's been one of his best polls in the last couple of years. Now, actually, the last year. Let me rephrase that. The last year. Before the last year, Rasmussen was one of his worst polls. So what is happening? I have no idea. I don't know if what they changed. I didn't really go read. I go to Real Clear Politics and I look at the aggregates and I look at all the polls, but I don't actually always go in. Every now and again I will, but I don't always go in and read the methodology and the actual questions and see how they lean people to vote one way or another. But on what is it, YouGov and The Economist, they do a poll together, and Biden got a +3. His poll numbers have been going up lately the past few weeks. I don't know if that pushed a button where the deep state said, oh no, I don't know what's going on, but his poll numbers, he's still negative. He's still like -7 point something. But if they say, oh no, he's going to run again, he's starting to get a little popular for whatever reason, lock those up in the garage, man. Put those in the garage.
He's going up in the polls. Get the folders. Get the folders.
They planted him, and then you mentioned The View, and I didn't see it on The View, but I did hear somewhere on the internet there was that conspiracy theory going around that those documents were planted. I don't know.
And what about the documents? I mean, I think the answer is yes, but do you think they were found before the election, before the midterms?
They said, I'm not going to pull up the report right now because I already closed that in my browser, but they were found in November before the midterms. And they didn't want to talk about it. They kept it hush. They didn't pull it out until now. So yep. What was their reasoning for the timing? Nobody's come out and said why.
No.
Normally you do hear about things after the fact, but why now? I mean, you wouldn't hear it right away. You didn't hear the thing about Mar-a-Lago and Trump until like the morning that he got raided. But they had, for what was it, a year or something, they've been going back and forth saying we need some of these documents back, and Trump got his lawyers and they went go through the documents and they sent him stuff back, and they were like, well, we want more. And he's like, I gave you what I got. And they were like, no, we still are missing this, this, and this. But they actually communicated. You know, Joe Biden and the White House put out this statement that they were working with the archive, etc. And Trump did too. Now, they claimed while he was working with them, he still wasn't giving them all the documents. That's the thing. And we know that now because they did find more classified, or at least they allegedly found more classified things, and Trump wasn't giving them everything. But I mean, how do you even know? You think Donald Trump is actually in that office going dig through the files, or he's just got some people under him going? So he only knows what his own workers tell him, right? And the same thing may be with Joe Biden. We may find out later that, yeah, Joe Biden and his lawyers are cooperating, and then if they actually do, and they won't, but if they would actually send the FBI agents to go in and raid Biden's thing, they might actually find more documents than what his lawyers gave him. Same thing with,
Right. Yep.
what happened with Trump. We don't know.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know, and they're not going to send the FBI on Biden like they did on Trump. So
Nope.
that's
and
up
it's
in
not
the
going to
air.
be a big thing. It's not going to be breaking news. It's not going to be. So wait, it was in the Penn Biden Center, which I really don't think that was an office. I think there was
read a
more to that
report.
place that had those documents, and then obviously the latest one was, well, it's locked up in the garage with my Corvette. It was locked up. So that was the third place. But where was the second place where they found documents?
I don't know. But look, that garage was locked because he locks his garage.
He has a classic Corvette in there. If there was a safe place in someone's house to hide classified documents, I think that would be in the garage with your classic Corvette that goes really fast.
I read a report.
His dad used to drive really fast in too.
The report said that the first documents that were found were in a quote unquote private office. And I read that, and as someone who combs over news and journalism his entire life, basically, I'm like, that's framing. They didn't have to put private office in there. They put private office because they were trying to say it was safe and secure. There's a reason why they framed it that way. You got to go and read these things, and I'm telling you, you can really figure things out when you look at the language they use, the framing devices. They were trying to run cover for them, but the fact that all of these news agencies, even in the mainstream, are covering this, man, I think they're trying to kick that old man out. I think they're done with him.
It could very well be. I was scrolling Facebook just to make sure that we were live again, and someone posted, "Get this, my gas stove is locked in my garage with my Corvette now."